why Harley Davidson will always win. A race? No. But then again, yes. What's up, guys? I'm KODE. Welcome to the channel. Now, before we delve too deep into this topic and get into the juicy details, let me start off by saying, if you are not a citizen of the United States, this topic may or may not apply to you. If you are from the good old USA, this topic definitely applies to you. So, what is it that Harley Davidson will always win? Always. Well, it is a race. It is a race for customers and the hearts of the general public. Go against Harley on either one of those topics, you're definitely going to lose. Now, before we jump into why Harley will always win, let's jump into why some of the other companies won't. And let's start off with my bike, my company, Honda. Now, if I were to go out and ask any one of the general public, now we're not talking bikers here, or your general motorcyclist, just your standard, public. If I were to go out and ask any one of them, what is your favorite Honda? You're going to get all sorts of replies. Probably my Honda CR-V, or my Honda CRX, or my Honda Accord. It could be my Honda generator. It could be my Honda lawnmower. Who knows? Honda has so many irons and so many different fires, nobody knows what all Honda makes. So Honda is an all-around company. And if one of the general public asks me what kind of bike I ride, and I say a CBR 1000 RR, they're going to think I'm speaking code to them. They're going to have no idea what that is. If you're not looking for this type of bike, you're just not going to see it on TV. You're not going to see it in ads. You kind of have to know what you're looking for. Now, not only does Honda not promote their motorcycle division the way they should, they don't really support customers. I mean, don't get me wrong. Good company, Honda. Love their bikes, obviously. That's all I've owned. But they don't really do much for their customers as far as like customer appreciation, events, that kind of thing. Since I've started riding, I've only owned Hondas. And I've only owned Hondas from the same dealership. Not once in my past, well, technically 7 years now of riding, have I been invited to any type of event at the Honda dealership. Not one. Not because they don't like me, it's just because they don't have those kind of things. At least not up here, they don't. All right, got another biker going crazy. On a Grom, another Honda. All right. By the way, in case you're wondering, it's barely above freezing right now. So good on anyone who's out riding right now. All right, now that we've covered Honda a little bit, let's go to the next one in the Big Four. And I say the Big Four, that's the Big Four Japanese motorcycle companies. Next up, Yamaha. Now, if I was to ask the general public, tell me what someone on a Yamaha looks like, you might get this picture, but you also might get this picture too. Now, Yamaha is slightly more focused than Honda as far as the amount of things that they make, but Yamaha is just as well known for their musical instruments as they are for their motorcycles. Mainly their pianos, but Yamaha makes a whole bunch of different type of musical instruments, and they make radios and subwoofers and amplifiers and you name it. They make all that stuff. So yep, even with Yamaha, you're going to get a mixed bag of answers. All right, next up, Kawasaki. I gotta say, I gotta give Kawasaki a little bit more credit. They're slightly more focused than Yamaha. Ask someone in the general public what they think about a Kawasaki. good chance you'll get an answer about a motorcycle, or you might get an answer about a four-wheeler or a three-wheeler or a jet ski or a side-by-side or a golf cart. Yeah, Kawasaki, at least it's mainly motor vehicles, but yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag, but they are a little more known for being a motorcycle company. Okay, moving on. Suzuki. Now, Suzuki is just generic Honda. Just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Don't get all butthurt. Yeah, really, Suzuki's in the same boat as Honda. You ask the general public about them, and they're going to have probably about the same type of response as you get from the same guys you asked about Honda. Because Suzuki makes motorcycles and cars and lawn equipment and you name it, and jet skis and all that stuff too. So they're just as much of a mixed bag as us Honda guys. Well, since we're riding very slowly behind this school bus up here that's picking up kids, let's go ahead and throw in another motorcycling company. It's a slightly smaller one, not one of the big four, and that is Husqvarna. Now, I'll be honest with you. Until I started riding motorcycles, I had no idea Husqvarna made motorcycles. The only commercials I've ever seen for Husqvarna is lawn mowing equipment, landscaping equipment. And also, another very unfortunate thing for Husqvarna is nobody likes saying Husqvarna, so they use the nickname Husky. So you can imagine what kind of response you're going to get from the general public when you say, "What's your favorite kind of Husky?" Well, they're going to say, "Oh, I like the black and white ones," or "I like the brown and white ones." So as you can see, the big four and a few other motorcycling companies tend to do other things besides just motorcycles. I can't say for all these companies. I really haven't heard of many Yamaha events or Kawasaki or Suzuki events. Just because I haven't heard of them doesn't mean there aren't any. Maybe there's plenty of them in other states. I don't know. I've never personally seen an ad for one, or no one I know has ever talked about going to one. So, even though all these are very good motorcycles, which I fully support, they could do better. And when you're going against a name like Harley Davidson, if you don't do better, you're going to lose. So now that we've covered that, let's circle on back to good old Harley Davidson. Okay, here in the good old USA, if I go out to anyone in the general public, I don't even have to say what type of motorcycle. If I just say, "Hey, I think I'm going to go buy a motorcycle," I can 99.999% guarantee you their response will be, "Well, what kind of Harley are you going to get?" Every single time I tell someone I ride a motorcycle, they ask me, "What kind of Harley do I have?" Every time. So you may ask, why is that? And that is because Harley Davidson means motorcycles. And that's it. They don't mean cars. They don't mean, golf carts. They don't mean all these other things that we've already discussed. They don't mean jet skis. They don't mean lawn equipment. None of that. Harley means motorcycles. Yes, they are absolutely synonymous with each other. Harley Davidson is motorcycles. So, anyone in the general public, when you say motorcycles, the first thing here in the US, they think Harley. Now, another big reason why Harley will always win, those guys are the masters of merchandising. They will slap their logo on anything that moves or does not move. I can pretty much bet that any article of clothing you could think of, somewhere, there is one with the Harley logo on it. You can find trucks with Harley logos on it. They had nothing to do with making it. They just sponsored it. And guess what? You gotta take the logo. Now, not only do they have all that merchandise to sell, they got all that aftermarket for the bikes. I don't think there's another company who has aftermarket support like Harley Davidson. And yes, another really good thing that Harley does for its customers, Harley loves to throw a party. There are all sorts of Harley events all the time. All season long, you name it. You will find multiple Harley events every year. Even though we put aside the cost of Harleys and some of the other stuff that goes along with it, Harley does go out of its way to really make their customers feel welcome. So when you do those kind of things, people are going to come back. Now, last but not least, why Harley will win. Harley will win because they've been around so long. It becomes a form of nostalgia for a lot of people, or let's say a kind of term of endearment, because Harley has been around so long that a lot of young people coming up, they've had that cool uncle or their cool dad or mom or whoever that used to ride Harleys, and they want to do the same. They thought that was really cool, and it's very nostalgic for them. And really, if they don't much know about motorcycles and they're just starting to get into them, they're going to kind of go with what they know. And if they have family members that rode Harleys, yep, they're going to want to ride one too. So yes, even though a Harley may not actually come first on race day, they're going to beat you in many other ways. So yes, with those regards, a Harley Davidson will always win. Alright guys, time to wrap this one up. I'm Code Gray. I'll catch you guys in the next one.